Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Jump In Let's Play. Today we will be drafting cards and building our very own zoo in the card game Zuuli. So we'll head down and take a look at how the game's played, and we'll head back up and take a look at our final thoughts. See you in a moment. So here we are ready to play through the first round of Zuuli. So as we said in the intro, this game is about building up your zoo. You do that by drafting cards, and I'll show you some of these cards in just a moment, and scoring points based on what animals you draft into what habitats in your zoo. So the setup for this is fairly simple. Each player starts with a new plot card, and we'll go over this. So this will tell you that it's a habitat. Here it will be its score multiplier or its satisfaction multiplier. In this, here we have the number of spaces that are available, and in the background here, it's just going to tell you which of the different types of animals you can have here. So we have got ourselves plains or savanna, we have got jungle, and we have got water. And then at the bottom, it will give you a sort of score requirement. So for our new plot, it doesn't score unless it's full. Others will have other types of scoring requirements, and some will not have any requirements. Each player is dealt a number of cards. For this, we're just doing the two-player version for this tutorial. So we have got 9 cards here. Our opponent has 9 cards as well. And then finally, if you choose to use them, we have got these 2 handy reference cards. So this one here telling you about invalid placement, which we will go over in detail, and an example park and scoring. Then this side here, we've just got the double-sided quick start rules here. So if you're ever wondering what you need to do at whatever point, you can take a look at a glance. So those are there if you need them for your first few games. So, card drafting. If you've not played card drafting games before, invariably you will be given a hand of cards and you will need to pick one. You'll pick that one based on a few different decisions, a few different choices based on what you've already got out, anything that you'll be looking to get towards, and also you'll be picking up clues from everyone else around the table about what might be drafted by everyone else. There's be stuff that you might not see or not see come back around to you. So we'll just take a look through here. So we've got our 9 cards. So we'll explain each one or each card type. So here we've got one of the animals. So they've got a few things here. They've got their score. So this is going to score us 3. This symbol here will either be fierce or friendly. Friendly animals can go into habitats with other friendly animals, no problem. But fierce animals can only go in habitats with other fierce animals of the same name. So this crocodile couldn't go in with this jellyfish, or this anglerfish. Even though the anglerfish is fierce, it can only go in with other crocodiles, whereas this elephant, this anteater, jellyfish, for example, could go in to a pen together, into a habitat together. Behind, it's going to tell you the 2 types of terrain that they like to be in. So if that habitat didn't have it in, then you wouldn't be able to put them in there. Some of these animals along the bottom are going to have a sort of scoring requirements. So this one here is going to score us more for having more jellyfish in the habitat with it. These ones here are expansions, so you install these during the develop park phase after each draft, and each of these will do different things. This one is going to expand our space in any habitat by 2. This one here is going to allow us to ignore the fierce and friendly traits. We also have others that add different terrains to each habitat. So if you have a habitat that doesn't have the jungle, for example, you can add that to it. And then finally we have other habitats. So again, it will tell you that it's a habitat, it will give you its multiplier, it will give you the space, and it will tell you which of the terrains you can use in there. So we'll take a look through, and I think that we will just take this open air island. It's a good thing to start with. It gives us another habitat. So we take that, and then we pass those to our left. This player, we will just assume that they have taken a card. So we will look through and we will decide what we want to do here. So we've got lots of pens in this one, lots of habitats. So let's have a look here. So if we take this vivarium, and then our opponents say they went through and they took, I don't know, say this crocodile. So they took that. So they pass those ones to the left, and we pass those ones to our left. As you are revealing these, you place them face up somewhere. And now we've got ourselves our next set of cards. So we've got a couple of habitats here now. So let's look to see what we can do to fill them. So I think that for now, we're just going to take this elephant, because there doesn't seem to be an abundance of animals in this draft. And our opponent here, they're going to look through and they say they're going to take that savannah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've taken ours. They've taken theirs, so we pass to the left and they pass this back to us, and we reveal the cards along the bottom here. So we just take a look through, and let's say we take this lion here. So we place that down. They're going to look in their hand and say take this anglerfish. So once we're done, we pass those to the left. They put theirs to the left as well, and we reveal our cards. Okay, so we'll just take this anteater, we'll put them there, and they'll look through and they'll take, say, this standard pen, and they'll put theirs down. So we take this one and we will look through. So for now, let's take this pond, and then our opponent, they'll go through. They may well decide that they want to take, I don't know, this anteater. So we reveal, we take a look at our cards, and we decide what we want to do. So let's take the jellyfish. Then our opponent, they take that anglerfish there. Let me take a look at our last two. We'll take the holding pen for now. We'll explain that in just a moment. So our opponent gets that card. They're going to take a look at these two. They're going to take the well-fed, and then we've got the expansion here. So these are now all our cards. What we now do is we move to the develop park phase of this round. So we will place our habitats up along the top here, and then we're going to decide how we're going to fit our animals in, as well as any installments that we have. So we're going to put our anteater in here. We're going to put our elephant in here, jellyfish in here, and the lion's just going to go in there for now because we can't hold him, but we have a vivarium ready for the next turn. So this here will give us an extra 2 spaces in any enclosure. So we can pick one, and then we can possibly add more to that as time goes on. So let's put this here, just because our lion, not this one, sorry, this one here. So then we have more space in our vivarium for more animals. And then we will go through and we will score. So we'll just take a look here. We've got a full plot here because we've used all 6 spaces. So that gives us 5 points. This here is giving us 4 points. That's 9 points. And we get the final point here. So that is 10 points for our first round. This one's empty. And this one here doesn't score us anything because we've just got a multiplier of 0 there. So it's literally just to hold it for a future round. Now, the holding pens are useful because if you can't place an animal, so say, for example, we didn't have this and we had our lion left over, we would have to discard it. If we discard any animals, then we deduct that points total from our end of round points total. So it's very important to try and place your animals in your available plots, or these holding pens, very useful just to hold an animal so you don't lose points at all. At the end of the next round, we will be able to move our animals around. So once we've drafted more cards and we've placed our new habitats, if we get any, and then we've got our new animals, if we get any, we will then decide where we want to put them and in what order. The only things that you can't move around are your expansions. Similarly, at the end of a round, a bit like the animals, if you can't place an expansion, it is just discarded from the game. So it's a good way to maybe get rid of an expansion that you think an opponent might need, but also it's generally a good idea to install expansions as and when you can, because they will be useful throughout the game. So once that's done, we will then draw our next hand of cards. So we go to 8 cards for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Our opponent would take their 8 as well. We will take a look through and we will start drafting again. And then we'll do that for 2 more rounds. So this round and then a final 3rd round. Each time picking cards. Once all the cards are gone, setting up our habitats with the various animals in them, scoring, removing any animals that we can't score, removing any installments that we haven't, or expansions that we haven't installed, and then scoring at the end of the round. Once we get to the 3rd round, that is the end of the game. We do our final score, tally up over the 3 rounds, and see who is the winner. So we'll head back up top and discuss our final thoughts. So, I hope you found that tutorial useful. Now on to our final thoughts. First thing, drafting. I love drafting. It's my favourite game mechanic in any board game. You tell me there's going to be drafting, it's going to pique my interest. And this one, absolutely no different at all. I love the choices I have to make in each round, analysing each card as it comes round. Cards are going to be changing in value for me every time they come around, so I really do like that kind of analytical approach to every card. Some cards are objectively better than others, but in the current moment, what card is best for me? And I really get that with Zuuli here. So the gameplay, as I said, fairly straightforward. You're picking cards, you're choosing cards to place into your habitats. You'll need to work out when in the game you're going to prioritise habitats over animals, when you're going to prioritise animals over the habitats, as well as expansions as they come up and come round the table, which can be useful given the situations you may find yourself in. It's really straightforward. The rules are nicely laid out, and they are accompanied by our reference cards as well, which I think I've said many times, and I'll keep saying it because it always is true. I love this. This is something that every game needs to have. If it doesn't have it in it, then I do wish they had them in it. It's just a nice little thing. It's just easy to have for people first couple of times that they'll be playing. They've got something to hand, so they don't have to trawl through a rulebook disrupting the gameplay too much. So the aesthetics of the game, it is bright, it is colourful, it's all very clear. Everything on these cards, for example, is telling you all the information that you need. There's no way that you're going to confuse animals and habitats. There's no way you're going to confuse animals with each other. Their points values are laid out. You've got these lovely cute images of the animal themselves. You've got whether they're the fierce or friendly. So there's a really nice presentation to the game there that I really, really do appreciate. The cards have a really nice feel to them. They've got that nice linen finish. Just makes them a little bit more durable, I find. Just nicer feel in the hands, which is important because you're going to be handling these cards a lot throughout the game, and they're going to be passed around a lot. The game length is exactly what I'd expect for a small card drafting game. You're going to be making a lot of choices in that 10, 15, 20 minutes that you're going to be playing the game, so you feel like you get a full experience, but there's not a lot of setup to the game. There's not a lot of rules that you'll have to go through. I think if you enjoy games like Sushi Go, this is definitely one that I'd recommend for you trying out. There's a little bit more going on here than with Sushi Go, just on account that you're not only trying to collect animals to score, but you're also trying to collect the pens, and then you have those choices between each round to vary it up and move those animals around, which I do like. It just gives another dimension to the card drafting game. So, that's my final thoughts on the game. If you'd like to give this game a go, we do now have it available in the library, and we do have stock coming in for it as well. We only got in a small amount at the moment because it's what we had left, but really excited for this game. So if you love card drafting, if you like drafting in any format, then I can certainly recommend this, especially for you Sushi Go fans out there. So that's Zuuli here in the boardroom. Thanks for watching, guys.